What is happening, people? Afternoon. Welcome to FFTV with me, Francis Green, and hope everyone is having a great day. Let's be honest, great start to the week so far. Obviously, the sad news yesterday, which we touched on, so big respect and condolences once again to Chig and family. But afternoon to you all, and there's not a lot flying around at the moment, I've got to be honest, but obviously you've seen the rumors today. I think Curtis spoke about it. I think Deluded spoke about it. I think everyone's going to speak about, obviously, what's going on, and we are in desperate need of a striker. But first, it is not chicken broth. It is my lemon and grass tea. I've managed to get it back in. So those who give me banter about some broth, it's lemon and grass tea. All right. On the other channel, you see that I like my teas, and I finally got some back in today. So just for, I think it was Social who hammered me last time, saying that it would look like broth. Here we go, people. There we go. Who is in the chat then? Social is in as ever. Craig as ever. Big up yourself. He's saying, Fran, what would the price tag be for Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Ivan Toney? Yeah, we will get to that. Josh is saying it's a madness. He loves the intro. All the Gooners popped in. Brett's popped in. Hey, Fran, how are you? Hope you are well. All the Gooners putting big up everyone in the chat. Lemon and grass or lemongrass. Fantastic. Boy Tendio is what I got in at the start of the show. Yeah, beautiful. Chris is coming. He said that my lemon and grass tea is a urine sample. It can look like that, but we'll come away from that. This is Lucas Live saying, hey, what's up? How you doing, Fran? Boy 10, I'm doing good. I hope you are doing well as well. I've ditched the cap. You know why, Ammo? I've cut my ear, so I ditched the cap. So you'll notice when I don't have the cap on, it's probably because I've not trimmed my hair. So yeah, the cap's gone for today. Alan's saying, what's up? And obviously big up as Ammo is saying that. Seems like everyone is in very, very good, positive vibes and energy, which I absolutely love. As you know, high energy, people. So, yeah, like you say, there is not a lot going on, but it's very, very, very obvious that we do need a striker. That is for sure. And the strikers that we potentially probably could have got pre-season, all right, I think we may have got a decent decent couple of strikers in pre-season. We've had this bad start to the beginning of the season, and now a lot of players at the moment will probably look at us any decent strikers and think, would I really go there? There's no rhythm, there's no cohesion, there's no pace going, there's nothing really happening at Arsenal at the moment. Yes, it looks nice on the eye with what we're being told, but would I potentially go there? Now, it's Arsenal Football Club. There is going to be players that say, you know what, I'm going to go Arsenal because Arsenal is one of the biggest clubs in world football. There's also a lot of players, though, who don't really want to ruin their reputation by going to an Arsenal, hoping that everything clicks and it works. Most players do believe in their own ability, of course, but they're not going to put that on the line if there's other people in line. And you've seen all the reports today. Are these going to happen? I can't see it for obvious reasons, which we will state. However, there's no smoke without fire. Now, Raheem Sterling, apparently Barcelona are interested in him. I think Raheem Sterling would rather go to a Barcelona than anyone else in the Premier League. People say, where do they get the money from? There's always money in football, regardless whether someone's put bankruptcy on file. There is millions and millions of pounds, dollars, euros, whatever you want to put in football clubs, even when they say that they are struggling. That's just for the books. Now, the problem is when we try and go and get for a Sterling, is going to be the same problem if we try and go for someone else. Are they going to come to an Arsenal? Chris has just popped this one. He says, just wanted to plant an idea, Fran. Then what you drink. Yeah, that's not good, is it? Planting that little idea and then you want me to drink it. I'm going to drink it now just for you. It's lemon and grass for everyone who's new. It's not what Chris said. All right. All right. Anyway. And just like Boy Toney's saying, the wages, would we have to give, you'd have to give Sterling 400 grand a week to convince him. We're going to have to give people big money to get the players that we want. Now, we've gone on this strategy, don't want to use the P word, okay, of getting young players in to build kind of like a foundation for 18 months, 24 months down the line. Now, I think that's where they're thinking. Now it looks like they're going to try and add a couple of bigger name players to that mix. It's very important that this squad that we have now can maintain a good level of performance to attract those type of players. And the players that you've seen all in the news today, you've seen Raheem Sterling, but Barcelona apparently, I've seen Ten Hag apparently is already agreeing some kind of contract from next season. I'm not sure how solid that rumor is. You know what agents like, being a former agent myself, we do put a lot of nonsense in the newspapers, but interesting. But for Sterling, I can't see him come to Arsenal. I just can't see him coming to Arsenal. He's at a prime age. He's a Barcelona. He can go to any top team in the world, Raheem Sterling. Do you know what I mean? Why would he come to Arsenal unless we made it ridiculous? But he wants to win things. I really, really think he wants to win things. This is a top player. Do not forget, Raheem Sterling is a top player. We probably can't get Raheem Sterling. You know, we probably just can't get Raheem Sterling. So we have to, that's just one option. So let's talk about what's in the news today. You've got Kelvin Lewin. You've got Ollie Watkins. I've added Toney to that. You've also got the Isaac, who was obviously mentioned pre-season. And then you've got Vlahovic, who is already said he's not going to sign a contract at Fiorentina. So there's 5 names there, which are all going to be expensive. Some are more of a gamble than others. All going to demand big money. All going to demand certain things, long contracts, 4 or 5 year deals at least. But we do need to spend the money, because that's where the goals, that's where the money's earned. That's where the money is earned. The reason strikers and wingers and all that get most of the main money is because it is the hardest job to put the ball in the back of the net on a consistent basis. It's obvious. It's the hardest job in the game. Chris has just mentioned about Sterling, saying, not sure Sterling is the right man. He made his reputation at Liverpool, won his silver at Man City. At Arsenal, he wouldn't try. Toney would prove himself at Arsenal. I think Sterling would try, but it wouldn't be right for Sterling to come with at the end of the day, we are where we are. We don't have a Man City squad. We don't have a Liverpool squad when he was playing. Like, for him to come to Arsenal, he's going to be looking around and thinking, I'm not going to excel in this team. So why would he go to an Arsenal? He just wouldn't. I just don't think he would go to an Arsenal. One, I think it'd cost too much money. And 2, he'd get a better club than Arsenal. He's still top player. He's like 26, 27. Next year will probably be his best year, or the year after. So just don't think that one is just paper talk, to be honest. Paper talk. He'll have a handful of clubs who want him. Handful of clubs. And, you know, Amo saying Sterling has a good relationship with Arteta. It doesn't matter. It don't matter, really. Honestly, he's thinking about how can he go on and win more trophies? And he will get a move. Most people that leave Man City go to another huge club, especially if they've been established. And like I say, he's been established. So he just wouldn't come to us. I'd be very, very surprised. And I would question, obviously, what he's thinking if he would come to Arsenal. I just don't get why he would come. Rashid was saying, why on earth would Sterling come to it? Just doesn't make sense. Just doesn't make sense why he would come. Really, really doesn't. The only way it would come is if you gave him £500,000 a week and then you think, oh, last payday. But he's only 26, I think. Sure he is. So that just doesn't make sense. So, like I said about the strikers, and I'm going to start with Calvin Lewin, because earlier when I was on Curtis's stream, I just nipped on before I had to do the school run, etc. And a few people were saying that they wouldn't take him. And I'm like, they're not the strikers that we go wow about, as in we used to go wow about. But he is by far better than anything we have at the moment. Some people say, but Fran, Ollie Watkins, Calvin Lewin better than Aubameyang. Not when Aubameyang's on song. No chance. But the way Aubameyang's been playing the last 12 months, yes chance. Yes, chance. And Aubameyang's done in a year, 18 months. So the next striker that we bring in is going to have to be the number 1 striker. Now, Kelvin Lewin is number 1 striker at Everton. And look how well Everton have done over the last 2 seasons. My only concern about the strikers that have been named, there's only one of them who scored the goals that I want. Calvin Lewin's best season is probably 17, I believe, and all the others. But for me, the way Arteta wants to play, we need a striker like a Dominic. We need a striker who's going to hold the ball up, puts himself about, runs himself into the ground, can head a ball in the box, which is vital for me, can finish from crosses. We don't have a striker who can finish from crosses. As good as Aubameyang is, right? I'm not fancying him when someone keeps whipping the crosses in and him to make the front post bang header, to hang out and bang it header back across goal. I don't see that in him. He's got powder puff headers, and his hairline's going further back. He don't want to head the ball, So exactly what Justin is saying. We need a striker with presence. The other team think we've got a problem here. We've got someone on our hands. He's going to hassle. He's going to back in. He's going to close us down. He's going to be bullying us in the air. He's going to hold the ball up, and he has a little bit of pace about him. I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin, for me, is that perfect striker, in my opinion. Now, you then go on to, let's stay on Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And then I'm going to go to the comments about Dominic Calvert-Lewin. In fact, let's go to a few now to see what you want. Chris is saying Toney or bust. Craig is saying, Fran, I think we got Aubameyang at his peak when he signed him. It's interesting that you say that, because players do peak at different times due to injuries, off the field lifestyle, mindset, fear, distractions. People do peak at different times. So it's interesting that you say that. Justin's put, with the amount of crosses we put in, Dominic Calvert-Lewin would be huge in my opinion. Huge. Dominic Calvert-Lewin would score goals for fun. I know he does get injured every so often, but people talk about injury prone. For me, injury prone is when someone's always injured. I don't know if any of you remember Darren Anderson. He was called sick note. He was constantly injured. Dominic Calvert-Lewin does pick up injuries, but I think it's due to the way that he plays. He puts his foot in where some of us don't. He gets clattered a lot of the time. I think it's down to that. I really think it is. Other Gooners put, I'd rather get Dominic Calvert-Lewin over Toney and Watkins, to be honest. Shrivix put, no attacker will flourish under our terrorist, regardless of whether they cost 15 or 50 million. Man has killed off Martinelli and Abba within a year of arriving. Any young striker joining will regress. I think it's the style of centre forward that Arteta, there'll be a centre forward out there that will flourish under Arteta. Flourish. And I think it's that type of centre forward who stays central, can get himself in the box, etc. Amos, listen, don't want to sell him. I think he's going to cost a fortune. Really do. Injury prone is someone like Renato Sanchez, not Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Munzi's put that he's injury prone. Rashid has put Martinelli could have been the best youngster. There's no reason why Martinelli can't be. Whatever the problem is with Martinelli, we can't entirely blame Arteta. He may be having issues away from the game. He may not be turning up in training. We don't know these things. So we can't just blame Arteta as much as we may be biased. There's normally a reason why a player is not in that team. It could be his personality. We know Arteta does not like certain personalities. We know that already. And believe me, if Aubameyang was not a big name, Aubameyang would not be playing either, because he does not like the way Aubameyang goes about his business either. So interesting. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Everton are going to ask for 70 million. Is their number one striker? They brought Rondon in, but Calvert-Lewin is their number one striker. So he's going to cost 70 million probably. And he's going to want a lot of money in wages. He's a good lad. I remember him at Northampton. He was a very, very skinny kid at Northampton. He went on loan. He was ever so good, probably about 5-6 seasons ago, maybe a little bit longer. Then he went back to Sheffield United because he was on loan. He's a Sheffield lad, did well at Sheffield United, and then got the move. Everton obviously go for the youngsters, and they managed to get him in, and he's progressed. He's strong. He's quite quick. I won't say lightning. He's brave. And I like Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I really, really do. And we've got to think where we are for the level of striker that we can get, because we're not going to be able to get strikers where we're competing with AC Milan, a Juventus, a Bayern, a Barca, a Madrid, a Man City, a Man United, a Liverpool, a Chelsea. We're not going to get strikers that are linked or interested in them, in those teams. We're just not. So we have to think right, we have to be quite smart when it comes to the business that we do. Really, really do. And I just don't think they'll sell him. I just don't think they'll sell him. Couple of your comments. Tony's put, unless we start attacking with pace, no striker will do well. We take too long to get the ball forward. I fully agree with that. We are very, very, very slow with that. Martinelli, Guendouzi were valued at 40 to 50 million each under Emre and were balling every week. And we sold Matteo for 9 million and Gabby has regressed massively. Even Balogun's going to struggle. Balogun's just not ready yet. He's really, really not ready yet. We've got to give him time, a few of the others. This is Lucas Live saying that he's live at 5. Feel free to watch my channel if you want to nip over to that one. And we have Martinelli. He would excel under another manager. I think he would. I think he would. I think he just needs to be trusted and played a lot more. I really think he just needs to be trusted. But like you say, each manager has their own type of player, personality, etc., etc. Buenos Aires in the chat. By the way, people, the other day I wanted to do a quick live after. We'll get people on. For some reason, the link wasn't working. I don't know whether it's a StreamYard problem because yesterday we couldn't log off or anything. I've looked into it and the link when I put up should work. So we're going to do another live and I'll get people's thoughts in maybe after the next game, etc. Because it's good to get people. I want to see people's faces. And that's just reminded me because Curtis really said some very, very good words about you, Buenos Aires Guna. So Martinelli gets kidnapped in the EPL games under Arteta. Big up, Fran. Big up yourself. Marvo's put big up FFTV. Great love. And Chris has also put, we have seen good Martinelli in a couple of years ago. That's what I mean. Within 2 years, this kid was young, quick. We can't entirely blame Arteta because it could be down to the player losing his way, not putting the effort in, whatever off-field problems. However, when he's not been given a chance, but then that on the flip side, has he been doing what he needs to do when he's been given his chance? That's the big, big problem. Wife popped in. She's put 35 plus watching. Hit the likes button, people. Good support from the wife. There you go. The wife's told everyone, so make sure you do it. And the other day, my browser said mic and camera were blocked, which is weird. I'm going to look into that. Mic, cam blocked. And that was, everyone seemed to have that problem. Maybe this is setting on my side. I'm at work, can't go live. Josh Bumba's at work. There you go. You got to get the graft in, mate. You got to get the graft in. But we're not going to do it today anyway. We then go on to Ollie Watkins, people. Ollie Watkins. I do not want Ollie Watkins at Arsenal Football Club. I do not. He did great in the Championship, okay? He's done half good. Well, you know what? Not half good. I think that's doing him a disservice. He's done good at Villa. He's got himself into the England squad, okay? But I'm just not excited by him. I don't think he's amazing. I don't think he causes big, big problems. He's quick. He's sharp. I'm just not sure. You know, Lacazette holds the ball up better than Ollie Watkins does, but Ollie Watkins is quicker. I think they'll both score similar goals. I don't think Ollie Watkins brings anything different except a little bit more pace and does get in the box more than Lacazette. Now, Lacazette can't do what Kelvin Lewin can do, but in a way, he can do probably what Ollie Watkins does to a certain degree. He'll link up. He'll probably get you 15 goals. I'm just not sure for me, Ollie Watkins is what we need to move forward. I understand the profile. I know why they're going to go for a player like that. But let's be honest. Our next centre forward is going to be our number one striker in a year, 18 months. Aubameyang's going to be 33 years old. Okay? Now, I'm telling you from experience, I was quick, but it does start to slow down. No matter who you are, you look at Ronaldo now. Ronaldo has to stay within the 18-yard box because he can't get the ball at the halfway line and be. Messi's different, okay? But he can't get the ball from the halfway line and take 3 or 4 people on or get the halfway line, hold it up, zip it out wide, and then sprint straight into the box. Very rarely does he do that. Now, age catches up with people. And Aubameyang, he's very, very comfortable. I've seen that at Brighton. Very comfortable. in life, in everything. And it must be very hard at times to motivate yourself when you're a multimillionaire. It's raining away on Brighton and you're not getting the ball. It must be very hard to motivate yourself. But winners do motivate themselves. And I don't think Ollie Watkins is going to bring anything different from anyone else who's quite quick. I think you could get a striker for 30 million, 25 million from the Championship who could do what Ollie Watkins could do, which is play on the shoulder. And if you create enough chances, he'll get a goal. So I'm not convinced with Ollie Watkins. Again, big wages. Again, big salary, big transfer fee. I just don't think he's the one. I really don't think he's the one, Ollie Watkins. Let me see what you said about Ollie Watkins. Obviously, Ronaldo can't get on the bench. Terence has come and he says, Wagwan to yourself, Terence. Buenos Aires has put, I don't mind taking chances on some players, but the striker is part of the spine of the team. The spine needs these top players, and Watkins ain't it. And I think if we're going to, Lacazette's going to go. And Lacazette has done well, okay? He's not been unbelievable, but he's done well. He's not a Van Persie. He's not a Sanchez. He's not, he's not one of those who go, yes, wow, but he's done well. He's going to go at the end of the season. Let's be honest. If you can get some money for him, let him go in in January. He's going to go. Aubameyang is clearly slowing down and getting disinterested in this journey as the club. Don't want to say the P word. Journey, as we say. Okay. So this next striker is going to be the main striker. I mean, Tuco, it's a great point. Armstrong at Southampton does what Ollie Watkins does. Armstrong at Southampton can do what Ollie Watkins does. Off the shoulder. Now, Watkins is playing in a 2 now with Danny Ings. Danny Ings, I'd have gone for Danny Ings for 2-3 seasons. He'd have got us goals. He'd have got us up the field. Definitely would have gone for Danny Ings. Decent. Fast feet, still at a decent age. You get 3 years out of him, 100%. Villa went for him, and if he stays fit, he'll probably end up going and score 10, 15 goals, whatever it may be. And Ollie Watkins and him are in a 2. But like you say, you can get a standard Championship striker who's quick, who could do what Ollie Watkins does. And it's just coincidence that he's in a good Villa team now that scores. When you come up from the Championship or when you come up from whatever league, like a Vardy, if the team dynamics complements your game, you score goals. If the team does not complement your game, you don't score goals. And that's in any position. So it's very, very easy to name players, but they need to suit the way you play. It's a very, very rigorous, detailed process to get players to fit your team and fit what you want. Shrivis put Arteta being a control freak like players who get in line, and thankful to him for giving them a chance like Emmerdale, Erdegaard, White, Saliba, Guendouzi, etc. are ostracized from speaking up. 100%. And a lot of managers are like that. A lot of managers are like that. Man versus Pandas, but does he start for Villa? I thought Ings played this season. They played a 2 at the weekend, even though Spurs beat them. They did play a 2. So I'm not sure whether they'll play the 1 or the 2, but I think they're going to have to play the 2. Nave Sport is coming. Yo, Fran, coming late, but happy to be here. Just got out of work meeting. No, you problem. It's good that people squeeze it in while they're at work. I think that's fascinating, and well done to you for coming in. Appreciate the time as always. Amos put, I think Toney and Watkins are the only realistic targets unless we make Champions League. Then obviously Kelvin Lewin could be done. We're going fully Brexit. Oh, this Brexit thing. I'm not going to get into that, but I knew as soon as we voted all this, some false pretenses. I didn't vote, but as in to leave. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me what's happening on the island. Would Siriki Dembele do better than Lacazette? Listen, I think that's a bit harsh and it's a big test. Very, very different players. But what Siriki Dembele will do, he'll take 3 or 4 people on and get you up the pitch. That is for sure. Adam Armstrong, Southampton, like I say, I actually rate Armstrong as a better finisher than Watkins. Armstrong's very good, but he's just remember Danny Graham? He's not like that, but remember Danny Graham, where he used to score loads of goals for Swansea, I think, or whatever. No one would. Charlie Austin. They're just not like fashionable strikers, are they? You know? I know I did. So are they good? And I did say the P word. Our style of play will change when Arteta gets sacked, so the sort of striker should be looking for with that in mind. Yo, friend, coming late, no problem, Curve Glass, that you're here. I appreciate. Afternoon, friend in the chat. I would love Dominic Kelvin Lewin. Do you rate him, bro? Like we said, I do think he would be the best option out of those the strikers that we're going to go from. Lewis Graben's another one, scores goals, but not fashionable, not fashionable. And I don't think he's good enough for Arsenal, but there is names where people, you would think, why didn't we go for now? This is a good one. I'm going to bring this up, people. All the attributes that I have named, okay, as a striker, what we need at Arsenal, this player would have fitted it. And I didn't want him nowhere near this football club. But Josh makes the point. I actually think that we tried everything we possibly could to get Tammy Abrahams, okay? I don't think Chelsea wanted him to go to another English club. That's the politics at football. Happens quite a lot. We probably had one price. Roma had another price. Guaranteed. And looking back now, he fits what Arteta wants. And now I understand why Arteta was pushing so hard to get him. I now get the whole journey of why he wanted to get Tammy Abrahams in the building. I didn't want him nowhere near the club. I thought, and I still, don't get me wrong, just because he's gone to Italy and scored a few goals, I'm not all of a sudden raving about him and saying I think he's this and that. But the way that we want to play and the way that Arteta wants to play, I believe Tammy Abrahams was the perfect type of striker for what he wants to do. I really, really do. And I think the only reason that he didn't come Arsenal is due solely down to the fact that I don't think Chelsea made it easy for us to get him. And a lot of things behind the scenes probably would have warmed towards Roma. And just like Curve Glass said, hindsight is a wonderful thing. Tammy needed that move abroad to man up, and I agree. I think Tottenham. I think Arsenal may have put too much limelight on him, but he, the sounds of it, he wanted to come. So we will see how long he lasts. Listen, we've seen Willock go on loan and score 7 and 7, and you look at him now, he looks like a basic player. So when people go on loan, you're always trying to get a good move, and then when they officially sign for someone. He's not, obviously Tammy Abrahams is just signed. At first, it's great. It's great. So we'll see what happens later on in that bit. But the looks of it, it looks like he would have been the good one for what Arteta wanted. You lot disrespected Tammy. I did. I still don't think he's a great player, by the way. I'm not going to turn around and say, by the way, he's a great player. I don't think he's a great player. But I can see why Arsenal went for him. And he would suit the way Arteta wants to play. And if he wants to play that way, he would have been a very good option. I wouldn't play him in any other team, in my opinion, and he wouldn't play in my team. But I get why Arteta wanted to go for him. And rightly so, yeah, I did. I did say he's not good enough, and I don't want him near the club. I really, really don't. Bugs leads the I don't rate Tam as a player, but he is working hard, and man up out there will improve him. Good. That's what I think. I think the fact that he went out there and is testing it in a country that can be known for deep racism, he's gone out there and started off really, really well. And all the best to him. All the best to him. Really, really all the best to him. I hope he has a very, very good career. I wish everyone has a good career. And all the best to him. He's gone out there and fair play to him. And you can see he's playing where he wants to be there. He feels loved by Mourinho. So, hindsight is a great thing, just like Curb Glass saying. He said the chat numbers are creeping up. Nice. Yeah, we're growing. We're growing on a daily basis, people. We're growing on a daily basis. One subscriber, one extra like is growth, as always. Right. We've done Dominic Calvert-Lewin. We've been going for half an hour. We've done Ollie Watkins. Don't think he's good enough. I'm now going to touch on, as you know, I'm a huge fan because I know him personally and I've seen him from all his journey, Ivan Toney. I shouted Ivan Toney pre-season, and there was a few things in the mix. And the way that we want to play, he would be the perfect match. However, we have to look at it from the way that most football fans and Arsenal fans and the board will look at that. Our next striker is going to be our number one striker in 18 months to 2 years. So he's going to be around about 21 to 24 years old now. Okay, that's what we're going to have to go for. Is Ivan Toney good enough at the moment to become that number one in 3-4 years? I think he is. But would we allow him that amount of time? Because he's going to have to be number one. Whoever comes in is going to have to be number one. He has everything. Like you say, I've seen him from a very young age. I seen him when he was at Northampton, when I was doing the agent work. He was at Northampton. He came on. He was this skinny kid. And he was doing all these tricks or whatever. Newcastle brought him. He had numerous loans. He wasn't ready. He couldn't settle. He didn't do it at Newcastle. He then went to Peterborough. As you know, my former club, Peterborough, have got a great reputation of producing or making strikers get themselves back to where they need to get to. And they can transform the Ivan Toney, done it Dwight Gale, McLean, George Boyd, Clark Harris now. There's loads. And they completely changed. They completely said to him, you can be as good as you want to be. When he got to the championship, when someone messaged me saying, Fran, there's no way he's good enough for the championship because it's a big step. I said, watch. Just watch. Brentford is the perfect team for Ivan Toney. If he would have gone maybe a West Brom or someone else, I don't think it would have worked out for him. Because you have to fit the dynamics of the team. I said, he's going to Brentford. They are the perfect team for him. Perfect team. He's one of the best penalty takers that you'll ever see. Calm as anything. He's a great finisher. Doesn't need a lot of chances. He puts himself about. Just watch. I said Brentford is the perfect team for him. Goes on to break all records, over 30 goals in the championship. That's going to cause a problem. He's going to cost about 40 million, at least 40 million. Ollie Watkins went for 30 million. You might get him for 35 to 40 million. He's now in the Prem. He does have to prove himself in the Prem, people would say. However, for me, it's very hard to prove yourself in the Prem to the level that people would expect you to if you're in a team that might get relegated. We've seen it with Pukki. Pukki is a top goal scorer. If Pukki signs for a Premier League team like a Brighton, Pukki scores goals. But he's up with Norwich. He's never going to get an opportunity. Now, Brentford have started off really, really well. Can they keep that momentum up? I don't know. If Ivan Toney gets 10 goals this season, I think that's a good season for a Brentford player. In my opinion, I think it's a good season for a Brentford player. And he has everything for Arsenal. He will do better than what Lacazette will do at the moment. He'll do better. He'll hold the ball up more. He'll cause more problems. He'll score more headers. And he will probably score more goals. But the snobbery comes in, like Marvo was saying, that the snobbery comes in where Toney's not Arsenal quality. But we say that about anyone else. We probably said it about Ollie Watkins. We maybe said it about Jamie Vardy before he went to Leicester. We need to understand what type of player that we are going for and where we are in the shopping aisle. Ivan Toney would do better than Lacazette over the next 4 or 5 years. For him to be number one striker, though, I don't think that's good enough for Arsenal. I get that argument. But we can't look beyond a player like Ivan Toney when we're 8th in the Premier League. Now, we could go for a foreign player, as we always do. But the percentages of them working out, I'm not too sure. You know, Yusuf has put, he's better than Laka, but we need elite. And I think that's what the fan base need. They need this elite striker. But we're never going to get that when we're 8th and we're not in Europe. Never. The best striker that we could possibly get from England would be a Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Now, Ivan Toney for me is I've seen him for the last 5 years. He's an excellent footballer. Gives everything. And we can't get elite. We can't get elite. Danny's saying the same. That's the only problem that we have. St. Maximum, I mean, you imagine Ivan Toney, Saka, and St. Maximum. Come on, people. As much as you might think, but we need bigger names. Ivan Toney down the middle, Saka on one side, St. Maximum down the other side. We're causing problems. We're causing problems. Basuma, Partey, back four. I'm excited. I'm excited when I see that lineup. I'm excited. I'm going to see something. So, just like this. This is what I think. He will give his all. Saint Maximin would give his all, But I just can't see it happening. I really, really can't. But I would like to see that one. Some very, very, very good comments. Honestly, excellent, excellent comments. 59 in the chat. Make sure you hit the like. I really do appreciate it and get this good content out to everyone else. Good comments. GB saying Balogun could have done with a loan this season if Arteta was going to use Nketiah above him this season. He is just abusing Premier League 2. Way too good for the 23s. That isn't helping him stage 100%. Under 23s is a waste of time. Under 23s is good for like Patino to get a little bit more experience playing against kids who are a little bit older. It's good for Patino. Them, don't force them. Let them play there. Curve Glass is saying when Laka first joined, it was a business. Arsenal ruined him. You know what I think it is? I think over time as well, players just they get bored. They want to change. I never liked to stay at a football club more than I stayed at Peterborough for about 6 seasons, and I said I would never stay at another football club for 3 seasons because you need to refresh. All the Gooners put friend. Did you see Fabrizio's tweet about Saliba? I didn't. I've been on Twitter this morning to say good morning, but I've not been on any social media since then. Big up Franny catching up the stream during my workout. Go on, beast. Get back on the workout. Pookie was a fluke, maybe. 30 or 40 million is cheap. Oh yeah, it's cheap. It's cheap. Toney's not Arsenal quality. What's even Arsenal quality? That's a very good question. A very good question. Let me see if I can catch up with a few others. Sorry if I'm behind people. Some great comments today. Very, very good comments. Boy 10 Diaz, but if you want elite, then we have to develop that elite striker ourselves. Buy young, develop them world class, unless we're going to attract Haaland. And that's a very, very, very good point. Very good point. That's why we've gone to get some youth players to try and develop a top player. To try and develop a top player. I believe that's the only way, people. I really believe that's the only way. Taffman has put, I like Toney, but one, he ain't proven in the Prem yet. And second, how much would he cost? And they're both valid points. But my only argument with the first one is when we buy a foreign player who's never played in the Premier League, people say that, oh, it's okay. But when we go for a championship player, people say they're not proven. Because the championship is probably better than most of the foreign leagues that these players are playing in, Terence has put, Morata is proven in the Prem, but I'd take Toney every day of the week. I'd definitely take him, but like I say, it's just cost, etc. It's not easy, is it? It's not easy. Terence has put, I knew someone else would come in. Terence has put, why am I drinking Fairy Liquid? It's lemon and grass tea with Mahuka honey, all right? Stop giving me banter. Brian's put 6 seasons, get fit, come back tomorrow. Yeah, that's mean Peterborough probably do need someone. Why drinking? Really good one, Terence. Jay Damas put, we should go for Lautaro Martin. I think we've missed that one. I think it's gone. I really, 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 really do think that one has gone. And, Toney saying English could be 60 million. I think maybe 40 million might do it. 60 would be astronomical, wouldn't it? So we've covered 3. We've covered 3 of the bad boys, all right? This one, for me, I'm not convinced at all. Isaac, the kid who's at Real Sociedad, Dortmund, etc. Sweden. I'm not convinced at all. Again, not a massive goal scorer. Hasn't scored this season. I think he scored in the Europa League. Gangly, technically not bad. Not aggressive enough for me. Isaac, he's just not... Isaac, I think they say. He's not aggressive enough for me. He's got great feet at times. He looks not bad at times, but I think he would be, out of all those 3, if he's the 4th, he would be my least. I've got to be honest. He would be my least favorite out of all of them. I mean, there's not much I can say about him because I've not seen a lot of him. I've seen a bit of him. He did well, obviously, at Sociedad. I think he's re-signed a new deal. you know, just like boy Toney saying, he seems a bit soft. Now this one would be good. He would be good. That's for sure. Kirkglass put lemongrass. I'm ashamed of you. What do you want me to drink? I need to drink healthy stuff now. Can't get away with anything that's not healthy when you're older. Is there more of a premium for white English players? Interesting. I've never really looked at it. We do have an issue with race, not just in this country, but in the workforce, probably across the globe. But not really. Never really. No, I can't really turn around and say yes or no because I've never really studied it, whether someone's more or whatever. English players have a whole, on the whole, have a tax. It's just an English thing. I don't know who made this up. It's absolutely ridiculous. And as soon as they play for England, you know, all of a sudden they cost more. I mean, Terence is saying the Tomori, for example, versus the Ben White transfer fee. Yeah, I'm not really too sure. Honestly, I couldn't really give my opinion on that because I'm not really. I've never really thought it's because of that. It's never really stood out for me, if you know what I mean. Brian is saying the Gunners should look at. By the way, this kid here, right? This kid here at Peterborough is a Sun player at the moment. He's 18 years old, I believe. He's a ball-playing centre-back, and he's only just come into the Peterborough United team, playing Championship, and he looks so comfortable. Yes, they're getting beat every week, and it don't look good on the resume, but if you watch him, very, very good player. So look out for him in the future. If he plays a full season in the Premier League, Edwards at Peterborough, you will probably see him get in the Premier League next season. Brewster for 20 million. I mean, they came up with balaclavas, didn't they? I don't know who signed that deal off. I don't know who signed that deal off. I really don't. But going back to Isaac, yeah, I think he's overrated. I think he's soft. I don't think he's the one for me, people. And finally, let me have a look at what a couple of you saying, actually. I'll go for Morales from Rangers. Would be good enough and scores goals. You know what? I'm not seeing a lot of him. I know he scores a lot of goals. Just not convinced. Maybe it's just the style that he plays. I'm just not convinced with him. S. Wade has put, what do you think about Arsenal, more of athletes or technical ability? What do you think? Arsenal need more of athletes or technical ability? Well, the Premier League is very athletic. It's very noticeable that a lot of people are athletic. I think we need more athletes at the moment. I think we've got some very, very good technical players, but I think we lack that pace, that physicality, that energy, and that comes from being athletes. So I think athletes, to be honest. That's my opinion. Alan's put Arteta as our strikers running back more than forward. So no matter how many crosses we put in there is no one there. You have a good point. You have to keep your strikers in the area of the pitch. We need to bring Sanogo back. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Right then, people. Finally, I'm going to go on to Vlahovic, Fiorentina. He stated that he's not going to sign his new deal. Okay. He wants a move. We were linked with him. So were Man City linked with him. Now, he's very, very good. I believe he's got over the 20 goal mark. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong. He's also young. He's 21. He's a good size. He is good as an all-round centre forward. I very, very much like him as a player and would welcome him. I actually think out of all of them, he could possibly be the best signing. But again, he's not proven in the Premier League. So how would he adapt? Technically, all round, he's probably the best one of what I've seen. I'm not going to sit here and say I've seen a lot of him and I watched Fiorentina all the week. I mean, last time I watched them was Gabriel Batistuta. But I do believe what I've seen of him, he's very, very capable of being a top striker. He may not demand a big fee because of the situation in the Italian Serie A. He don't know who's his agent. I don't know who his agent is. Really don't. So he may not be as expensive as a DCL or as a Toney. He may not be expensive. The problem we've got is nearly everyone else wants him. That's a problem. That's a problem that we've got. It really, really is a problem that we've got. And I just can't see us competing with the likes of Atletico and all these, even Man City at the time. If Man City might go for him in January, you see. You know, if Man City stay within the mix, they're going to need a striker in January to push on. They'll go for him in January if they're going to go for him and not going to get anyone else. So it's very, very interesting. Kane will just go through the motions and try and force a move through. Bad business from everyone over there. So a lot of teams want him. Atletico, Bayern. I could name a handful of clubs that want him. So I think we won't get him at all. I think we're just, dreaming on that one. But you never know. You never know when it comes to that. Martial's name's been popped up. Terence is saying Martial's finished. To be honest, I don't think Martial's finished. I just think he needs to be at the right club. He's got fantastic ability. He's finished the other day. He just needs to feel wanted. He needs to know that he's going to be playing every week. I would take Martial at the drop of a hat. We're Arsenal Football Club, finished 8th 2 years in a row and haven't got no one who's as good as Martial. Simple. We haven't. He's just lost his way. Griezmann's another one. They've lost their way. And they just need to be back in an environment where they feel wanted, loved. You've seen it with Jesse Lingard when he went West Ham. You've seen it with numerous players over the course of football. And through experience, when I was at a club that I feel wanted, they got the best out of me. When I was at a club where I was scared about, if I play 2 games, will I get dropped the 3rd game? Maybe similar to what's going on with Pepe. Because Pepe's got ridiculous talent. Let's be honest. But he just doesn't do it enough. So maybe he's playing in fear. And I'm not Pepe's biggest fan. But maybe in his defense, going from experience, he's playing in fear. Which means he knows if he doesn't play well, Arteta's going to drag him or Arteta's going to drop him the next game. I think Martial has the same problem at Man United, and that's why we don't see the best. And so does Jesse Lingard. Jesse Lingard should not be sub at Man United at the moment. He's gone to another team who are not as good as Man United and proven that he is one of the best third-man running midfielders, goal-scoring midfielders in the Premier League. Jesse Lingard has proven that. No one can argue with that. Yet he can't get in a Man United team who don't score goals from midfield, third man running. So it's all to do with do you fit? And I would take Martial at a drop of a hat. He's better than what we've got. Martial, Saint Maximum, Toney, Vlahovic, DCL are all better than what we've got. All better than what we've got. Whether you like the style or play or whether you're a little bit biased or not, you can't turn around and say those players are not better than what we've got because they are. They are better. Martial just needs game time. He won't get that at Man United. That's all he needs. That's all he needs. Arsenal, not the right environment, no. And that's the thing. Is Arsenal and Arteta right for a Martial? Right for a Saint Maximum? He'd probably stop Saint Maximum going forward at times, But it's a good, I mentioned this before about Pepe. Is he playing in fear? I'm going off when I was playing experience. I remember thinking, if I don't have a good 2 game or a good game this week, I know I'm the first person that he's going to drag on 65 minutes. So the whole game, you're playing in fear. And that's a psychological thing. It's a mindset thing. It's a self-development thing that you need to learn. But for example, if Pepe does not have a psychologist, if Pepe does not have a self-development coach, which most footballers don't, because they don't want to do it because they ain't got the time, they keep saying, even though they only train 2 hours a day, he's not going to know that. He's not going to know that, listen, it's you playing in fear that is probably sabotaging your own progression. So it's all got to fit with the dynamics. It really, really, really has spoken. Have we spoken about Martinelli is reportedly unhappy? We have not spoken about it. But again, that's another player who there's a reason why he's not playing. There's a reason why he's not playing. Another one, could be thinking, I'm not going to get a chance with this manager. He's going to throw me in against a Brentford where chips are against the wall. I'm not going to be able to perform well. He's kind of setting me up. But he's not deliberately setting you up. But they're kind of setting them up for failure. Like, oh, we'll go in now and do a job. Come on. It's not fair, but it's the way football works. And Martinelli will maybe get a move like a Guendouzi, like a Saliba, and go and smash it. because Saliba's just doing what he wants. Guendouzi's winding people up, but so he should, because he shows passion. He just needs to channel that in the right way. What do you think about Guendouzi being Marseille captain playing for France? It's funny because I didn't even see that comment. I think he's a great player. I love his passion. I love his anger. I love the way that he plays the game. I just think that he needs someone with him a lot to help him on the mindset of things and channel that anger and enthusiasm into being a better player, rather than thinking that showing people that you want to win can backfire in football, because your manager doesn't seem to want it. If you understand, you want winners, you want that standard, but you just need them to control it. Fantastic players, and we've made a mistake with him and Saliba, big time. But Arteta, at the end of the day, we have to support what he's saying, so we go from there. We ain't stable on Arteta chops and changes. I mean, listen, if he gets to the weekend against Palace and all of a sudden he starts changing again, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. You need rhythm. The only way you get cohesion and rhythm is by playing people regular. Lil always rinse clubs for their players. Pepe shouldn't be beaten with that stick. Ossiam went for big money as well. Good player, very good player. He's another one that maybe Arsenal would go for, but I'm not sure he suits Pepe, Arteta again. Pepe plays like he's seen a ghost. Listen, and the more that we think about it, the more that we speak about it, I think he's playing in fear. Footballholic has said, Fran, our fan base like to hype out young players like crazy. Martinelli's prime example. He needs to do more instead of just running like Sanchez. Is not enough, Fran. He does need to do more. And we do big up our young players. And I think it's down to, got to be honest, I think it's down to not maybe understanding the dynamics of the steps you need to take from youth team to first team. Now, your Saka or your ESR are 1 in 50 or 1 in 100 where they can come in and it kind of clicks for him. If you think about all the others that doesn't work, it's all to do with timing, dynamics, the way of the team. Does it suit that? It got to be very, very careful when it comes to you. Everyone was raving about Martinelli and Balogun, and I was saying, slow down, because these kids need to just relax. Now no one talks about Balogun because he's had one bad game at Brentford, and that's fans for you. We've got to remember that he's not ready yet. Martinelli, I believe, is ready, but where does he play? Is he good enough to play down the middle, bring people into play ahead of Lacazette and Aubameyang? Probably not. Would you play him out wide ahead of anyone else? Probably not at the moment. So that's why he's not getting any game time. But to him, he thinks he should be playing every week. And of course, views on obviously Dele dating Pep's daughter. Listen, if you want to move to Man City, there's your way, innit? Marry the manager's daughter, Move to Spain, change your nationality. You might be bopping it at Barca before you know it. Fair play to him. People calling Doozy a virus, but he's being handed the captain's armband at 22. Something isn't adding up. People don't know how to handle people like him. That's all it is. People, you've got to remember, right? And we're going down to self-development. As you know, I love self-development. Check out the other channel, by the way, Green Mind. Some very, very good videos on there for you. Green Mind with a Y. In society, okay, people are scared of people who want to win. They're very different. Society is the masses, okay? Society is the masses. So everyone tends to do the same type of thing. When someone has a different mindset who wants to maybe, for example, if you're at work and there's that one geezer who gets in work a little bit earlier and leaves later than everyone else says, oh God, look at that guy. Yet he will probably be the one that goes on to outsail or outdo everyone else in whatever job he's doing. That's a winning mentality. And if he's not happy with something, he will pull someone up and say, I'm not happy with this. Whereas other people won't do that. Same in football. People don't like it when another person pulls a person up or when another person is knuckling down and gets in early or leaves late. People don't like it. People will try and stop you from doing it. If you're starting a business, people will try and stop you from doing it. Guendouzi's mentality is a winning mentality. He just needs to know how to channel it because he's very, very young. And I was the same. I was so angry. I used to get in people's faces. I used to get in refs' face. I used to hammer youth team players. And people used to say, Fran, you're being a little bit too harsh on the youth team players. And I'd be like, well, it's the only way these people are going to get anywhere in life, blah, 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 blah. And I was that angry and that wanted to win so much. it actually sabotaged my own career because it was putting me 2 steps back because people couldn't understand why I was that way. And it actually got in the way of my career. So I would sit down with Guendouzi and say, listen, just listen from me. Trust me. The best way to go about it is just let you hard work on the football pitch. And then when you're speaking to someone, learn how to communicate where people get the right picture, you know, because that's the only thing that is holding this kid back. Because he's a great talent. He's a winner. Pepper's going to buy Ali and sell him on loan if overboard to keep him away from his daughter. Yeah, can you imagine? Guendouzi's quality still maintain our midfield. Will be fixed with him in it. I really think, I mean, imagine Guendouzi against Partey. Come on now. Come on. We need people with attitude. We need people with a bit of substance, but it's not happening with Arteta at the realm. Preach, Fran. A lot of men are content. They're jealous of grafters. 100%. 100%. That's life. Anyone who does anything different, yeah, whoa, that's not right. He must be this. I like Peter Crouch. Hope to see a play like that again. Peter Crouch was top. He got very, very underrated, Peter Crouch, by the way. I'm the Ronaldo of my work, going early and leave late, but at home I'm the Dele Alli, chilling. Hey, listen, that's nice. That's nice. As long as you don't go out with your boss's daughter. Or Dele Alli, rival team. You'll be all right, mate. Mihal has put, well, what are your targets in January and can we compete in Europe come next season? Well, one, it would be great if we get in Europe. And we need a striker. We need a striker and a midfielder. Bugsley has put, Doozy's a winner. Salute to the manager who made him captain and can handle strong characters. Yeah, big shout out. So you're being like this, mean. You are bigger Doozy fan than Ødegaard. Ødegaard's a better footballer, as in technically, but I would rather have Doozy in midfield than Ødegaard next to Partey. I want Ødegaard in the 10. Ødegaard in the 10. But yeah, Guendouzi for me would be the perfect one. Remember Tony Daly for Villa? What? It was like an old school. He was like an old school Saint Maximum. Can tell you that. Right, people. We have already got to 60 minutes. What an unbelievable stream. Great numbers in the chat today. Big shout out to each and every one of you. Make sure you hit the like. If you haven't already, a subscribe button would be very appreciated. And then I'm sure we will have something to speak about tomorrow. Not sure where we'll be on, but you know, keep out. Make sure you look out for the community posts that I put in. And hopefully have a great rest of the evening. And obviously the rest of the week, but I will see you again. Quick one. King Say has put, big up, Fran. Would you take Rafinha as Pepe replacement all day? Wouldn't even have to do anything. I would take Pepe straight to the train station or the tube. I wouldn't take him to the airport. You don't deserve to go to the airport. I'd get him shipped out and I would get someone else in. Fran, Italy, Spain tomorrow. Interesting. We might do a watch along on that bad boy. Yeah, so let's see what we come about tomorrow, but that would be a good game. Great stream as always. Really do appreciate it, Justin, and every one of you in the chat. Like I say, does not work without you. So make sure you give yourself a pat on the back. And if you are struggling with anything this week, go and check out Green Mind, the personal channel. There's a couple of videos on there which may help you self-development this week. And have a good rest of the evening. Take care, everyone. See you later.